Before you got to this point, look at maybe at the start of this year. If during that time I told you, Elson, you will be able to produce a copy like this, and I showed you the copy that you just wrote, but I didn't tell you who wrote it. Let's say I can travel, I can take stuff and travel through time, right? And I went back to the old Elsa and said, look, one day, actually not one day, like very quickly, you will be able to write something like this. What would your response be?
Disbelief, like you're lying.
Yes, same with Leanne. If I were to show you that and say you wrote it within this amount of time, no one helped you, what would your response be?
Yummy.
I can only hear you squeaking in a very high frequency, but I can't understand your words.
I said yummy.
Okay. And then for Vincent, 1 year ago, if I told you time, money, spouse objection, there'd been no problem for you. What would your response be?
Hmm. I would have believed you.
Oh, fantastic.
I,
Already believe.
I,
Okay.
I'm paying for the solutions.
100%.
Vincent, you're built
Yes.
different. You're built
He's a
different,
bit
Vincent.
different. He's hilarious. You know, if you became a stand-up comedian, you would be so successful.
Oh, I'll pay for that, man.
You just go viral on TikTok for sure. Because it's like you're not trying to be funny. That's the funny part.
Uh,
All of them are trying to be funny. You're just like making sense. But it actually makes sense. You know, they are just trying to be funny. Okay.
aren't you all here to pay for the solutions? I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. So
why do
if
you
you
pay
look
him? Why
from
do you pay him if you don't believe in him? Something must be
yes,
very wrong.
point taken. Okay.
Okay.
So if you look at where you were at that point when you didn't have the belief. But just because you humored me, you entertained me and say, you know what, Sean, because you told me to do it, I'm gonna give it a shot. Not try, try is like try has a very different frequency. I don't like to use the word try. You didn't try, like you actually did it because you had that idealization phase. Like today it's coming out, right? Today, accountability partner, right? Our copies are coming out. It is a decision. You didn't say like today let's try. If you tried, okay, Elson's one would have came out at 6 a.m. and then yours would be like 8 a.m. something like that. But no, it's like decision has been made, it's coming out. Good or no good, we are posting it. So
So then if
because of yes, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry. So then if right now let's say I'm telling my subconscious mind that I want to find an offer by August, does it mean that it will do or like it'll do whatever it takes to go and do it by August to find an offer by
Yes,
August?
it will. And then when it
Okay,
happens, you'll be
like
like, then why didn't I ask for July? I could have gotten it by July. You will experience that when it happens, right?
right. Can you help me
And
come
a
up
lot
with
of
like an
things.
affirmation for like getting by July, sorry, by getting an offer by August, and then maybe like, because I want to go to Malaysia. I've not traveled for like 5 years straight already. I want to visit Malaysia, say like September or October, like that, before the end of the year kind of thing. Can you like, help
Okay,
me come up with like this kind
consider
of
it done.
affirmation?
But
Thank you.
the date is not up to me. The date
Right.
you have to write down and set it here.
Okay. Sure. I'll put down a date on my one.
So this happened because of idealization. Now you know why in my challenge, almost every sheet, if you notice, almost every cell has a form of idealization. Where you actually have to sit down and say, I want that. But a lot of us in the Asian household, actually, we get penalized for saying that. I want it. Not realistic. I want it. Too expensive. I want it. You're not getting it. Right? So now when I say fantasize, you get, oh, that's wrong. Right? Because why? When you fantasize in class, what does the teacher do to you? Hits you with the book, asks you to wake up. So a lot of us are conditioned not to fantasize. If you didn't fantasize, would you have the milestones that you have today? Look at you guys one pager. If 1 year ago I showed you that's your one pager from the future, again, you'd be like, what? But that happened because of idealization. Step two, visualization. Because idealization isn't just wishing. You didn't wish for a good one pager or a good copy, right? We, with my help, of course, visualized the process, which is I want to see your objection videos. I want to see your website copy. I want to see, bigger links. I want to see clear photos. Then you can see, oh, so these are the kind of the parts, but I don't see how all of them, link, but I kind of see the parts. And then now that everything is established, you're probably like, oh, so that's why Sean wanted this thing. This is a process of seeing the process. Visualization. What are the parts? I don't see the full picture, but what are the parts? Okay, that's step two, visualization. Last week we said, I told Leanne, you don't have to memorize the full script, but phase one all the way to phase nine on a sales call, can you just see the big general parts? That is visualization. Which architect, when they build the building, they will say, let me build as I go. As in, when they plan the blueprint of the building, can you imagine your house that you're living in now? The architect who built it said, you know what? Let me build the house as I figure out the blueprint. Does it work that way? No. They actually see every part of the house first. Then they hand it over to the construction guys who then follow the blueprint to build. It's not build as you go. As a closer, when you get another sales call, that blueprint, phase one to nine, just like your magic tricks, the process, what to show first, what to hide, what's what's the twist. It has to exist in you first, right? You're not like figuring what's my next step, right? It cannot happen that way, otherwise your whole performance goes to shit, right? Same with you as a nurse. You need to know what is the SOP, the standard procedure. You have to go and do stuff. You cannot, try to fix that person, the person die, and then you'll be like, oh shit, my bad. Cannot be. You actually have to know the process by heart. That's what a professional does. That is visualization. You see the battle before going to war. You already see it first, as much as you possibly can. These are all mental powers, mental skills that can be trained. Step three, and the final step, is called concentration. Concentration is not how we learned it in modern English, which says focus. Okay? No. It simply means filling up yourself with more and more of that initial ideal so that you immerse yourself. When you guys watch shows, when was the last time like you watch a really good show or a musical or a movie, and in that moment you got so immersed in that scene or in the actor or actress portrayal that maybe you got emotional, maybe you completely identified with it, and in a moment you completely forgot, temporarily you forgot that you're watching a show, and then you're, oh well, relax, it's just a show. But in that moment you were so sucked into it. That is the mark of a great actor or actress or performer. Because why? They are so immersed in that character, in that moment, that they are conscious of nothing else. Do you think they are forcing themselves? No, it's the opposite. If they actually let go of all that force and be fully immersed to say, I am a closer. The difference is they are acting for a screen. You are not performing for a screen. You need to be legit skilled in that practice and immerse yourself in that way. So, what's the difference between repeat, repeat, repeat versus total immersion? The difference is the emotional charge. The beliefs that you still carry with you today, because at some point in your childhood or even in recent years, when that event happened or that event kept repeating, there was an emotional charge accompanying that programming process. That's why it stays in you until today. So when you immerse yourself in this new outcome, let's say you want, oh, I want a new influencer by August. When you immerse yourself in this ideal, you cannot just say, I want influencer. I want influencer. You need to be like that actor that I mentioned that's so immersed in it that he is conscious of nothing else. And it's not like I force. You know who are the actors that look very forced?
You want.
Just watch Singapore shows.
That's
You
true.
watch and be like, what are you guys doing?
That's so
But when
true.
they act, it's like, 我要把你杀了，我恨你。I mean, like, huh? Like change channel, right? What am I watching? But then you watch some good quality production, you're like, oh my God, oh, it's happening, oh my God. And you get just swayed by the performance. That's total immersion, total belief. Just that they are acting, you cannot be acting. You need to be legit immersed in that belief. That's the emotional charge, which means that your emotional mind must be brought into the picture. Okay, what's the secret to that? You have to enjoy. You have to derive fun, like how Vincent is having fun choosing his topic off. That's why you can never predict. You want to try, you predict next week his topic, you can never get it. You can try now. I give you 5 choice. Even you guess 5 times, you can still not predict. Okay, that's what happens when you're really having fun. But having fun doesn't mean that it's positive emotions all the time. Okay, in closing, there will be a lot of highs and lows. Okay, you just have to ride the wave. Okay, you don't shy away from it. Okay, yes, Vincent.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't think I enjoy doing it a lot. That's also a problem. So I think it's more of like what you mentioned earlier, the concentration. Sometimes I take it as a discipline things that I need to do. So I don't immerse myself in this. I think that is also a problem because I'm doing
Yes.
it in a very disciplined, robotics way that, this is what I need to get done today. So I just get it done. I set aside the time. But I think the immersion part is something that I'm lack of.
That's a very important question. And this is the fine line between discipline and like self-torture. Anyone can torture themselves, right? But why? Are you trying to get a Guinness World Record? And do you have a point to prove externally? Those things don't do any good to yourself in long term. So I fence at least once a week. I go to the gym at least once every 3 days. And when I travel to those places, it is a source of stress relief for me. So I actually look forward. I can't wait to put down my work. And yes, go ahead, Alison. I can't wait to, finish my work so that I can just walk to the gym. I don't travel like by any vehicle. I walk all the way to the gym and back. Cause why? I actually look forward to that walk. I enjoy the walk. I enjoy if I do 5 sets of 8 reps. I actually look forward to every single rep. I'm not trying to skip it, like today, 5 times 8, let's quickly finish it and go back. That's not my process. I actually push and then I hold and I take a deep breath and I'm like, wow, I hope this rep doesn't end. Because why? This action brings me healing. So you have to find the activity that gives you something back. If you're always giving, 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 you know how you're gonna feel? You'll be like, I don't look forward to going to the gym at all. I don't look forward to writing copy at all. I'm just doing it because I force myself to do it. When that happens, there is misalignment. Okay. What about things that you really hate doing? Like, let's say, back when we had to go to school, right? And, we had to do all these things. So think about long-term you and short-term you. If long-term you will look back at this habit and say that, thank you for going through this. I hated it when it was happening, but I knew that in the end I would come to love it. So like future you will say, thank you for going through that shit. Example, practicing copy. I was in so much pain practicing copy. So much pain. I really hated every second of it. Not just emotional pain, mental pain, trying to figure out how to do it, and physical pain from handwriting the thing. But I ask myself, like, when the day comes when I can write copy seamlessly, how would I feel? And I fantasize, and I would like, well, if the day ever comes where I can make money with my copy, then everything I'm going through now would be worth it. It's just that I don't know when the hell this is going to end. And it is painful. How painful? Painful to the point where people quit and give up. I've seen so many people before you quit and give up. Okay. Then the question you got to ask yourself is this: which is more painful? Giving up or not giving up? And that's a decision that you have to make. For me, if I gave up copy, I cannot accept. I cannot accept not acquiring this skill. Same with closing, same with web design, same with, getting to know AI. I cannot accept. So if it's painful, I will soldier on. There's no quit.
So does it mean that we should look at the outcome rather than the process?
So while you're in the toilet, Vincent asks, what if I, really, what was the question? What if I really hate to do something like that?
Okay. I don't enjoy as much.
Don't enjoy as much, right?
Yeah, because you talk about writing copies. Even going to the gym, I went to the gym yesterday. I dragged my body there.
Mm.
Because I didn't want to do it. But when I was taking a nap halfway, someone called me, so I woke up and then I feel that I should do it, so I went to do it. But if you ask me whether I enjoy enduring the pain to build my stamina for my health, so that the future self will thank the current self, I'm not at that stage yet. I'm still
Right.
kind of doing it because of
So
what I need to do. So I do it.
for Elson, the response I gave him was, let's say, and you got to translate my examples to yours. Okay. For example, Chinese New Year, you wear your polo tee, and then you have a big bulge on your stomach. And people ask you why you have a beer belly. Can you accept? Okay, don't answer me. Don't answer me. Okay. This is my thought process. Right? And if there's a health crisis, can you accept? Right? So short term is very torturous, but is it the right thing to do? If your answer is yes, you should 100% follow through with it with no hesitation and no doubt, because you know the outcome is very clear. If you violate the law, the outcome will always be the same. Just like on a call, you break rapport, the call is gone, right? You miss checking the spouse objection will come up. There's always cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. So not all things you have to hold on, right? Like junk food, I don't look forward to it anymore. Why? Because I hate it when I do sports and my body becomes sluggish. Yes, I love it in the moment when I feel relief and it's a great taste and it's a distraction and I can watch my favorite show and eat a big pack of chips. Wow. And then I realized that no, I'm just looking forward to the next pack of chips and a different flavor and a bigger serving until like it's really too much. And then where is all of this going? Like it doesn't fulfill me anymore. And then when I do sports, I cannot move. Then I realized that, wow, this has to go. It's not serving me anymore. Right? So when you are self-employed, your mind is your only friend. It's your only ally. It's your greatest asset. You lose control of this, it's game over for you. Okay, so step 1, idealization. Step 2, visualization. Step 3, concentration. If you want to learn the full method, this comes from a book that's more than 100 years old called the Master Key System, which you can download from free on somewhere on the internet. Just type Master Key System, PDF. Actually, in the members area of the complete closer, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see the PDF there. Okay, that's if you want the full thing. But in general, this is where I base my affirmations on. It actually follows this book. It's based on this book. Okay, so if you're curious, Vincent, you can get the book, read it when you're free, online or get a physical copy. And it's very old English, so you got to kind of make sense out of it. Okay. So for Alson, when you have the time, share with me more on like the internal processes that you want to improve, because landing the offer is an outcome. But outcomes don't come, they don't drop from the sky. You need to be strong internally to attract that outcome. The influencer you get will mirror you. So, there's no right or wrong answers. In fact, the only right answers are 100% from your gut. So you don't think of what I want to hear. You just be very raw. Same with Leanne and Vincent. Just be very raw about the beliefs that you want to tackle. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to make it like politically correct. And I will keep it private. Okay, there are no limits on anything that you want to, put inside. Okay. You don't have to answer me now. Like really take over the weekend to just, sit on it. Okay, and write down whatever comes to your mind. Okay, and then I will create a product that you can listen just before sleep. It doesn't have to be the full hour. It can just be however long you want. And then a day file that you can just listen throughout the day. Okay, so that concludes the mindset portion.